Yeah, I know. It's discontinued. Still reviewing it. Lone Wolf Landslide 40022 Nutnfancy Knife Show. Now you guys know I'm not a big conspiracy guy in all facets of life. I'm not. But I seriously wonder if Benchmade bought the Lone Wolf brand just to kill it. Also, for the record, I do not like the corporate nature of how the outdoor industry is going. Freedom Group, good example. Buying up all these great gun companies, and what happens? They lose their personality. Quality levels plummet. Who knows if they'll survive? I'd much rather leave it mom and pop. I would have much preferred the Lone Wolf brand. Never sold out, never was bought by Benchmade. Back in 09, 2010, actually it was probably 08 to 09, I reviewed several just really beautiful Lone Wolf models like the T2, the Harzy Design T2. What a great knife. Yeah, I'm not sure. Who knows? This is another great knife. Now, this really emerged under the Benchmade banner, not the Lone Wolf, as far as I know. I never saw it in the Lone Wolf lineup before Benchmade acquired it. And, like I said, if you don't know, the Lone Wolf brand, for now, it might, resurface. It's gone. Now, like I said, this knife is discontinued, but you can still get it. It's out there. There's enough time remaining where if you find it, you have an option of buying it. And yes, it is that good. It's a great knife. I should have reviewed it, I know, 2 years ago. I didn't. For a lot of reasons. I don't know. Never got around to it. But here it is. This is a look at the knife. Now, you guys who own the knife will know that there's a modification staring you right in the face there. Yeah, you got it. And I never saw this version. The dark green handle. This is obviously the orange. And I love it. In a lot of blades, not all blades, I like an orange option. It's cool. It's high vis. It's good for use in the woods. Anywhere, actually. You're fishing your knife out of a bag with a dark interior. It's easy to find. And it just looks good. Philosophy of use. When I first got this knife for TNP, bought it, I really had a philosophy of use as a water knife. The steel is N680. It is a high chromium steel, and it's pretty good. I've reviewed several knives that either run N680 or N690. It takes a very fine edge. It lasts good enough, but it's really rust resistant in my own testing. I like it. It's my first choice of steel. With a water application, it's up there. We're going to look at a couple more options before the video ends, and we'll just visit some water steels that I think work. And it's funny, you go to a scuba shop and you buy a scuba knife. I believe this steel, the N680, 690 series, blows it away. Most scuba divers don't really know knives, they don't know steel, and they don't care. They're just using it to pry open abalone, stab a shark in the eyeballs. I'm just kidding around. Just utility tasks underwater, cutting some fishing line. They don't care the steel. I know because I have some dive knives and they're not that great. This steel dominates it. In edge retention, in rust resistance, maybe not. This will rust eventually. You got to take care of it. I don't know if it's marketed or should be marketed as a saltwater steel, but as a freshwater knife, yeah, it could work. Beyond that, I think it's a great EDC knife. And I had carried it probably a couple months here and there, coming in and out of the pocket in the rotation. One reason is it's extremely light. It's a 3.5 inch blade and it's thick. Look how thick it is. And it's only 3.4 ounces. That is a great EDC option, don't you think? The blade maybe is just a little bit long for EDCing, but from my own experience, it's fine. And it's very practical. Now that it's discontinued, you might even classify it as, I don't know, just a enjoyment for you collectible. I don't know if it's going to go up in price. Usually, as I tell, handled knife like this, I just don't see it. It could. This knife was really under the radar. I kind of wish I'd done a review on it earlier. I doubt I would have overturned that conspiracy though. I'm kidding. It probably still would have been discontinued. I just don't know. Value wise, it's going to run, and I'm jumping ahead here, around 70. That's now. Earlier, I think it was a little bit cheaper. So it has gone up in price now that it has been discontinued. That old supply and demand thing, imagine that. And for that money, you can buy a lot of great knives. You know, we know that here, right? So I'm not going to say, oh, this is the best knife, you know. It's just a good option, a really great option, actually. And I'll leave POU at that. Feel is like nothing. It's like air weight. The steel, I love it. Let's take a little closer look at the grind. I actually am liking this style of grind more, like I've mentioned in several reviews, because I can lay it on a consistent angle sharpener, like an Edge Pro Apex. The knife doesn't rock back and forth since I have this flat to stabilize it, and then I can run a 20-degree relief edge on it. I haven't sharpened this one. This is just factory edge here. And I don't think I have anything to cut. Oh yeah, I do. I got some cardboard here. Let's see. A good thing about it, the width of the knife is it is strong. It has kind of a strong tip to it as well. The Landslide does. A downside is it may not give you the same cutting performance as a thinner blade. And I'm not going to raise the tripod. Just a couple cuts here. Real technical. It kind of, you know, rips through that cardboard a little bit just because it's a fat blade. Not super fat, but it is. And I don't think this portion here is hollow ground. I think it's flat coming from that flat portion here about mid-spine. Speed. I would say for a standard lock back, and that's what this is. It's not an axis lock. It's not really anything innovative. It's just a torsion bar lock back. Here's a photo of the innards. It works great. I mean, it's fast. It's clean in the deployment. Blade retention. It's kind of a heavy blade, so you can see that there maybe is just a slight retention issue there. If you like shaking your knife out and deploying it, you'll love it. But I think it could use some more retention. We'll make sure that's in the next version, right? I'm kidding, it's gone, this knife. Here's blade centering for you. Really good. Excellent thumb studs. Deployment either side. Just the lockup is really excellent as well. I have not like thumped on this, trying to get some looseness instilled in it. But I'm pretty happy with the lockup and the strength for a standard lockback. And that's what you have to understand. You know, it's not a triad lock. Handle construction. Huge win for the Landslide. And this is where I get sad that the knife is discontinued. Because oftentimes we'll see unnecessary steel liners, nested steel liners. The Enduro 4 uses them. I still think they're unnecessary in a folding knife. You know, I think it's more of a marketing gimmick where we're trying to convince the market, hey, this knife's really strong. It's got nested steel liners in it. And it's like, yeah, man, that's good. But dude, how much torsional stress are you putting on your knife, your folding knife? I don't. And I think I'm a fairly good representation. Look at all those stains from the field strip. Let me just do that. Perfect. I think I'm a pretty good representative of a knife user across the board. Outdoor knives, EDC knives, maybe not tactical blades, thank heavens. But I don't put torsional, you know, stress on my folding knives. And what we're talking about is at the pivot point, I'm really cranking it, I'm prying with it. And that's about the only way I would say a nested steel liner would be nice. Now, in a knife like the Enduro 4, it is done so elegantly. In other words, it's aggressively skeletonized. It really doesn't add that much weight. So in that knife, I really don't mind it. But I'm happy that there's none at all in this knife. Now, by way of example, and this is going to be an interesting bounce off in the review, I'm going to bring out a Benchmade 915 Triage, which is a Hall of Famer here in TNP. I love the Triage, okay? And speaking of N680, that steel's right there, dude. So in that review, I mentioned the fact, one, that it's orange, and I like orange. And then two, it's a good rust resistant, in this case, in this philosophy of use, rescue steel, right? To be used in high moisture environments. I have resharpened this one to a 21-degree edge. And I love it. Now, but this is a knife that has what I'm just talking about here, and that's why it's coming out, those nested steel liners. And it pays for it in weight. It's 5.2 ounces, which is a little bit heavy. You do have, actually, in the 915, we all know this, the rescue cutter. By the way, this is, I don't like the auto triage. I like the manual one. Just so you know. Throw that out there. 420 stainless steel rescue cutter, loop over clip. It's a great blade. Hall of Famer. And for the weight, you have so much capabilities. But it has those steel liners. Just throwing it out there. This is G10. This is Zytel. Plastic handle, and it is stepped, hence the name Landslide. It's kind of trying to go for a topographic map look there. Again, that dark green one was really cool. It doesn't have jimping on it, which again makes me a little bit sad. You have something that looks like jimping, and don't bite off on it. You could just, you know, hit your grinding wheel here with the Dremel and cut some in, like you've seen me do lots. Interior look at the knife. And that'll take us to clip design, which I'm sorry is a miss on the Landslide. It's that old penis clip, dudes. And I don't, actually, do I have it? I think I do. It's on another folding knife. I do, because I swapped it. The thing I was mentioning early in the review for you guys who own this knife, they immediately said, hey, that's not the clip that came with the Landslide. And you're correct. It ain't. It's the clip that came with what I call the CUDA 9 by Camillus. And I'm going to review that soon. That's going to bracket this review. You'll see it come out shortly. This is a cool knife. It's got kind of a weird thumb disc on it. You kind of get used to it. But it had a cool clip. And so the penis clip off this knife kind of went here. There you go. They call it the double arrow. I'm just messing around. But I just don't like it. Benchmade, lose that clip, dude. And here it is on a Rift. I mean, when I reviewed this, I said as much. There's a, 950 Rift. I don't like it. This clip off the Camillus is so much nicer. Daddy like. And it is repositionable to left and right side. So the Landslide is actually a good lefty knife. You've got ambi thumb stud with no volcano issues. You fixed the clip, and I was amazed that one actually was drilled properly. I didn't have to modify it at all. I just swapped it right over. But you probably have some old knives laying around. You could, that you're not using, steal the clip off it. And you can go places and buy them easily. Durability, I think, will be good on the steel, especially in a water environment, and that'll take us to options. 950 I've talked about. That's not really an option. It's still being produced. Great knife. I show that because, one, I like orange, and then we're talking about the steel and the nested liners. This one, however, is a very viable and Hall of Fame competitive option. That's a Spyderco Pacific Salt. Weighs even less. 3 ounces, and it features H1 steel. I've used this knife off and on, mostly off, because I have so many knives that have to go into rotation. I'm only one guy. And I've liked it. It takes a fine edge, lasts good enough. I'm talking H1 steel here. And I love Spyderco. Oh, I love Spyderco knives, man. Big fan. This is the Saber Ground version. As far as I know, the Pacific Salt, the Aqua Salt, not the Aqua, but the Pacific Salt has not been made in FFG. Didn't stop me from loving this knife. Again, we see just plastic, Zytel grip, volcano grip in this one, and I love the yellow on this. Great clip here. Notice these two clips are pretty similar. I show that because I'm just showing that my preferences are consistent. I'd really like a shorter clip. What's my EDC today? Oh, it's out of reach. Oh, here it is. It's a Wave 4. Yeah, that's just an option for you. Which one would you prefer, Nutton, between the Pacific Salt and the Landslide? Ooh, good question. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'd go Pacific Salt, hands down. Not even close. The main reason is I like the jimping on it. It has a beautiful thumb ramp. It is positionable. Well, I was going to say all 4 corners. It's not like the Endura series. It's just left and right. The H1 steel is good. The hollow ground cuts really nice. It is super light, fast. But the slicing capability on this knife is better, the way I see it. This really has nothing to do with this review, but I'm rolling it in anyhow because I'm going to make a point with it. This is the Kershaw, also discontinued, Energy G2 1745 in 14C28 in steel, designed by Lee Williams. And I love it. I don't love the clip. The clip is an abortion. It's embarrassing. That clip is. Geez. You're like, oh, what a beautiful knife. Someone sees that clip. Dude, what happened? I haven't tried to replace this clip because, as you can see, it's got an unusual attachment, and I haven't carried this knife at all. The reason I'm showing it to you is, one, I love it. I like Lee Williams' flipper design. As you can see, it's just really cool. It's just like a little flipper mechanism here. It's fast and elegant. I always like fast and elegant. Not super light. It's heavier than these knives, lighter than that one. But this was discontinued, and I went out and sought it out. And so if you like the Landslide, it's still out there. There's a secondary market on eBay, several other websites. You might even find it in Amazon, the Landslide, if you act fast. The energy was that way for me. Last but not least, just because it's orange, I'm going to show you this. Oh, I like these. I reviewed this. This is the Lightning again. I just tweeted it to my TNP Twitter guys, and I love those guys, man. I'm using you Twitter guys more and more for ideas. So I'll ask them questions. Hey, think about doing a video on this. What do you guys think? And they'll say, yeah, or no. I don't know. I'm going to do that more and more. So that's a smaller universe for me as opposed to here on YouTube. It's too big. I'm overwhelmed. I'll probably get overwhelmed on Twitter someday too. Do it while it lasts. This is an out the front auto, and we're running a special on this at Blade HQ for TNPers. $29, $30. Does it really relate to this knife at all? No. It's not a water knife. I wouldn't carry this in the water. Especially any auto knife would just muck up with sand. Mechanism wouldn't work, and the steels aren't really set for it. But dang, is it fun to play with. I gave this one to a friend, not a knife guy. I just created another addict. He was like, talking to me the other day, he's like, that knife you gave me? Man, that's a cool blade. I'm like, told ya. First one's always free, just like a drug dealer. Anywho, Landslide, I love it. It's great. It's going to rank very high on my likability scale. It needs to be probably reprofiled to get maximum sharpness out of it. It's super fast, very lightweight and unobtrusive in the pocket. If you can find one, I think it's worth having. I think its main role is an EDC blade. And then if you go whitewater rafting, high moisture environment, maybe fishing, great blade. Nutnfancy review. Thanks.